you want to tee off with some of your favourite creators, this is your chance.
Creator Golf Club Championship tickets are now on sale.
The YouTube community isn't just online anymore, you can step inside the ropes with us.
It's doubles match play, knockout format.
So grab a mate, shotgun not Randy. Fans and creators all in the same draw.
With a handful of matches and you could qualify for your regional finals where you can play against creators. And if you win there, we're flying you out to the global final at a world-class golf course to play for glory and all expenses paid.
Any handicap, any experience.
All golfers are welcome.
Registration is now open, so grab a partner and lock in your spot before we sell out. Seb, thank you for joining us here on the Rick Shiels Golf Show podcast. This is, well, you've been on the podcast before. You've pretty much been a co-host on a couple of podcasts.
Oh gosh, yeah, with Bernard.
Bernard in the museum as well. We were over in Germany.
I forgot about that.
But you are on today to talk about what is, let's be honest, hitting the amateur golf scene globally. This is being talked about so much over the last few weeks, etc. Between you and me, we've been speaking about this for the last 6 months or so. The Creator Golf Club. This is an opportunity for amateur golfers around the globe to enter the biggest amateur golf tournament ever ran. It's an opportunity to play alongside and potentially against content creators that they've watched, admired, subscribed to, liked, left comments for. And it all comes down to a finale, a global finale with an incredible location towards the end of the year where the winning pair will pick up a prize that will change their lives.
Wow. Well, great intro. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Now,
very exciting.
You have history in tournaments kind of similar to this as someone who's played an awful lot of very high level amateur golf. You obviously won, was it the Trilby Tour? Was it twice or 3 times?
I won the world final in the UK twice and I won a regional event. So 3 wins, but only 2 big ones.
So you know what it's like to go through tournaments like this and to kind of feel those emotions and have that adrenaline pumping through your veins as you're wearing your Trilby hat.
Special little hat, yeah.
Where did this idea stem from? Was it kind of inspired from your history playing in these amateur golf events? And what was the inspiration? What was the dream behind it all?
Just one sec though, Rick, before you even come on to that. I've kind of somewhat on purpose played dumb. Explain to me in layman's terms what this is first, before we even go on to where it came from.
Yeah, in its simplest form, it's a doubles competition. So for 2 people who love their golf to team up with their best mates or their friends or whoever they were playing with and take on other people, progress through qualification rounds for a chance to get to special final events and win amazing prizes. So it's competitive golf for amateurs, handicap golf. But the thing that makes this a little bit different, because there are a few of these tournaments around, it's not a completely new idea, this at all, is that this is the one inspired by content creators and for the content creator community. So the little line I quite like is, if you watch YouTube golf, if you're part of that community, this is your club championship. This is the club championship for the collective of people who like watching online golf. So that's what it is in its simplest form. It's, you're buying a ticket, enter a tournament, and instead of paying a really expensive fee to go to a really expensive golf holiday, you can hopefully win a couple of local matches, qualify for regional finals, and earn your place to go to this mega, unbelievable golf experience with all your favourite content creators playing in an amazing format with and against them to win a great prize. So it capitalises, I think, we've been talking about this, like you said, Rick, for a long time. And I have been involved in this space. I'm not as frequent an uploader as a lot of the guys, but I've been doing this quite a long time. I have a role behind the scenes as well. We look after and work with a lot of different content creators in helping building out their content and their brand side of things. And that space has evolved so much that we're all given just unbelievable opportunities to fly around the world, playing amazing golf courses, hugely incredible production levels now. The level of that's gone up so much recently. Playing against pros, playing against big names now.
In fact, the last time you were in this very room,
Yeah.
You were surprising me
Yeah.
with a tea time at Augusta National.
I know.
Like, that's the type of opportunities that are starting to happen in the golf creator space, which is unbelievable.
So all of that, but then even more recently, again, first-hand experience when you invited me to be part of the Duels this year, like to play. I played with Tyrrell Hatton, Poltz and Westwood against like Kevin Na, Taylor Gooch, unbelievable stuff for a massive prize money. We've seen what happened at the Internet Invitational. Like the levels of YouTube golf have gone crazy, and the content's getting better and better. But I feel like there's two things that haven't really evolved properly yet. One is what really interesting opportunities have we created for the audience, bar the videos getting bigger and better, bar certain products or promotional lines. But golf, I find is fascinating because unlike football, if you watch football, you don't necessarily play it.
Very, very small amounts of people.
Very small, especially later in life, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Whereas in golf, if you watch outside of maybe those big events like the Open, the Masters, the Ryder Cup, people that watch golf almost definitely play regularly. You look at like the Hit Channel, people are obsessed with equipment, how they get better at golf because they're playing golf. So most of our audience are obsessed with playing golf. So what way can we actually create a playing opportunity for them? And look, a golf day is very limited by the size of a golf course. If we wanted to do a mega golf day and have a good number of creators attached to it, well, you can't have many people there. Like we've done a few of them, right? We've done a few of these.
The YouTube Golf Day back in 2019, and that's kind of like, we had probably, was it about 5,000 people turn up for that? We had a huge amount of creators, equally amount of fans who managed to get into the event. But you're right, that's not outrageously scalable. Like that's good, and it was a lot of effort and hard work, but for one day, where this is kind of stepping that next foot and going, well, actually, how do we get the community, how do we get the viewers participating in this, playing in this, where it actually feels like it means something?
Yeah, I mean, that's the other line we use, which is like, you've seen us on the screen, now you take to the course against us, right? So it's like, how do you create a model that allows for that genuinely? And what I think we've landed on is a really great format that we've spent a lot of time working on. Like, not any decision has been taken lightly. It's not like, oh yeah, that sounds all right, we'll give that a go. It's really been thought out. And it is a doubles tournament where you and a friend will register. We've got our own special web app that basically will pair you against people in your local area, and you'll play knockout matches. Someone goes through, someone goes out. In fact, actually, we're going to have a second chance bracket, which is really cool. So everyone will get at least 2 matches. So you lose the first game, you get another sort of a get out of jail free card, which is cool. So you win a handful of matches in your local area, and then you'll qualify for a regional final. At the regional final, there'll be the winners of all the other brackets, if you like. We're going to call them cohorts. I can come on to maybe that in a minute, but it's a bit detailed. And at that regional final will be a really cool golf day, really amazing, where you've actually earned your spot at, you haven't got to pay for. And the top players there will then go on to have a chance to play at the global final, but also to be regional champions. Here's what's going to be really cool about this. At the end of this year, we're going to have X amount of regional champions, create a golf club championships, regional winner, but we're also going to have our first ever club champions. That is what this is. We're going to have the club championship. This is anyone who watches YouTube golf, including all the YouTubers who are welcome to play. And we've got some unbelievable names lined up. Someone will be the club championship. Club champions.
It's cool, isn't it? And you know what? Since we talked about this a few weeks ago on social media, no word of a lie, the amount of people that have come up to me that are so interested in this concept. Now, we open registration, and the uptake on registration blew all our minds.
Amazing.
Like, the numbers are incredible. And not only that, from where everybody signed up from, obviously UK is heavily, the USA, Australia, loads of countries in Europe. Now, depending on how many people have signed up, actual proper sign up in those locations will determine how many cohorts are going to happen, right? But there's hopefully going to be an opportunity for as many of those people as possible to sign up and play regional tournaments. If not this year, next year, as it grows, as it gets bigger. You might be in a country like Belgium, and you might straight away go, we're not going to do a final in Belgium just yet. Maybe not this year, but maybe hopefully next year, maybe the year after. It'll keep getting bigger and bigger. And that's what's super excited about this as well.
Yeah, we've got a lot of decisions to make there, but ultimately this is open to anyone, any experience, any handicap. We'll maybe come on to a handicap policy again. A lot of thoughts gone into that. Really, a lot of thought's gone into that. But effectively, these cohorts will be 64 teams. So any area where we can have 64 teams, you could have a cohort, and then the winners of the cohort will go to a regional final. So the more we have in any individual area, the more chance of having an extra cohort there. So we are now looking at having cohorts like every corner of the globe, basically.
If you enter in a region that's busier, let's say we enter in Manchester, and Manchester's one of the top, obviously, cities in the UK. Are you going to have to play more matches to get through to a regional final? No. So you're going to play as many matches as you would do if you're in a smaller, let's say you were somewhere in Devon.
Yep.
You would play the same amount of matches to get to your own regional final.
Correct. It'll be a cohort. So the most amount of matches you have to play will be 6, or win will be 6 matches. And that's because a cohort is a 64 teams. That's the number we're working to right now for the amount of teams in a cohort. So for each cohort winner, currently there will be 4 golfers, 2 teams that will win. The main bracket winner and the winner of the second chance bracket. So you'll have 2 winners from each cohort. And then those winners will go to a regional final where they get a chance to be the regional champs. So if we had 10 cohorts in Manchester, then there'd be 10 winners from Manchester. They would go along with winners from other local areas, and there'll be a regional final that's, say, in Liverpool. And then the winners of those cohorts will come together for a golf day. And that's the golf days where it's going to be unbelievable.
I was going to say, even that's exciting.
Oh, yeah. It's like creators will be there. Well, that's the other big thing to really make it clear. We've got a big roster of people involved in this, as you've seen. You know, we've got the likes of Big Wedge, Four Brothers, Pete, Tubes and Ange, Jimmy Bullard, and more growing all the time involved in this. We're all going to have teams in the tournament. So you guys could be paired up against, if you're in the some local areas as a creator, could be paired up against them in a knockout match. You could turn up and play against you two, for example. And so some creators will qualify for these regional events. But even if they don't, we're going to have creators there. And we've got some ideas for what the formats can be like, especially at the global final, where, I mean, without giving too much away, let's just say, imagine a world where you and your mate have qualified for a global final in an unbelievable, incredible destination, big prizes on the line. You play well and you get a draft pick, and you might pick, right, I'm picking Rick Shiels and Peter Finch to be on your team. And then you're going to battle to win the big one alongside your favourite creators against other of your other favourite creators with other people. Like, what we can do with that, and then the prizes we can offer, is basically going to let people experience what it's like to be either a tour pro for the day or like a really famous creator, right? Because going back to what you said about the Trilby Tour, the thing I loved about that was at any final, you have a golf course set up really well, sponsors boards around the tee, caddies, cameras. You felt like you're on the tour. Like, the standard of golf, a lot different, right? But you got the feeling of what it must be like, not just on the day, but having something to prepare for. As golfers, yeah, okay, not everyone, but most people I know, they want to get better at golf. Let me tell you, the quickest way to get better at golf is to play competitive golf, because you have to lock in, and that is how you can really get to your potential. So this is like a lot of fun. We're playing for some big prizes in a really fun event. You're going to get to play new golf courses, meet new people, but you're going to get a lot better through this. If you know you've got a game next Tuesday against Gary and Hannah, you want to turn up and smash them, right? You got, right, I'm going to go make friends with those guys, but I'm going to polish up on my skills. I'm going to get ready and try and win that match.
So it's males, females, professionals as well can enter?
Yep. We're going to have a handicap policy for professionals. Obviously, playoff scratch. There's going to be another parameter that allows them to be only 1 per team, for example. A team can actually be of 4 golfers, 2 golfers and 2 reserves. So, for example, if one of the big challenges is getting your matches played, people's availability. So having reserves in place in case there's injuries or unavailability can help with that. But yeah, pros can play, only 1 per team. There's another little, we're looking at having pros maybe play off of 1 tee further back as well as a further little, I guess, handicap for the amateurs.
Agreed.
Yep.
Age limit?
No age limit, apart from underneath 16. 16 years and over with a guardian is what we're looking at right now. No upper age limit, naturally. We would love to include younger people, but we have to be a little bit careful. Take the advice of legal teams and whatnot, and maybe in the future we'll look at that. But I think for now,
it might even be a kids version of this.
Could very well be.
We could actually do Creator Golf Club Junior.
Why not?
Or the
Absolutely.
Junior Creator Golf Club, because I think that there'll be obviously the kids knockout tournaments are also huge. We'd love to be able to do something around that as well. To play devil advocate for a minute, this is kind of more Guy's role, as he's very good at this. What? I'm a good player, let's say. Okay, and I want to enter this. I'm like, right, I'm going to enter this.
Yeah.
But I'm a bit worried, Seb. I'm not going to lie to you because let's say I'm a 3 handicapper.
Yep.
I'm a little bit worried about some of these bandits.
Yep.
Well, my name's Guy. I play off 24.
Well, Guy, I've seen you play on video before, and that's probably it's about right.
Right, 18.
Let me give you more shots.
Touche.
What's going to be put in place?
Yep.
What's being policed to make sure that this is as fair as possible for all the golfers that are going to enter?
It's very hard to balance the perfect result, but we have again spent a lot of time and think we have a very good solution to the B word, should we say? And it isn't ever going to be perfect because what you don't want to do is, it's just a scratch comp. Well, great. Well, that's not going to be appealing to people. So you need handicaps. Handicaps are a great part of golf. They allow anyone of any quality, any ability, any experience to play against each other on a level playing field. You will always get people who take advantage of that. And that goes for nothing. We've considered whether we have really stringent handicap limits, whether we have no handicap, we've considered everything. And where we've got to is a handicap policy that will allow anybody with any handicap to enter. But there'll be a max playing handicap. Very common for these sorts of tournaments. Ours is on the more generous side, so higher handicappers can play. And then you'll get what's known as your handicap allowance for the tournament. So if you have a fully WHS, England Golf, wherever your territory is, official handicap, you will get, and you play lots of regular golf, put lots of cards in, we can see that your handicap is as legit as it ever can be, you will get a 90% allowance. Very common again. So if you're off 10, you'll play off 9. So you'll lose 1 shot. Same for everybody. Very, very even playing field. Playing in doubles is quite common that each player gets a slight reduction.
And is there a way of checking that criteria? So if I am a handicap user,
yes,
how can I check that? And also, if I'm entering this, how can the actual organisation check that as well?
Yeah, so when you sign up, you have your own profile in the platform, and you will declare things like your details, your handicap number, for example, things like this. We are also going to be partnering with England Golf to allow anyone that hasn't got one the ability to have a free trial and sign up to get a free iGolf handicap for the first time. So there really is no excuse that you can't go and get a handicap. To get an iGolf handicap or an official handicap, you only need to put in 3 cards. If you're playing an event like this and you're not going to play 3 rounds of golf to get ready for it, then what are we talking about here, right? So the barrier to entry is now been made nil. Things like iGolf I think are a great thing anyway, relatively inexpensive. You get insurance, other benefits, and you get an official handicap, even if you're not a member of a golf club. But to get a handicap for free, but let's talk about that because that's very important. If you put in 3 cards, how a system would work is it will give you a handicap. The more cards you put in, the more relative to your average that will be. You're penalised for the lower number of cards that go in naturally within the WHS system. Yeah. However, within our system, if you're let's say for a number, we've yet to decide exactly the number, but let's say you're putting in at least 1 round a month over the last 6 or 12 months, we can see you're putting qualifying rounds in regularly. Your handicap is relatively up to date. You're putting consistent rounds in. It's a good barometer of your current state of golf. We will give you the maximum 90% allowance. If you are not putting many cards in, maybe you've just signed up and just got the 3 card minimum, which is quite strict on new golfers anyway. I think, for example, if you put in 12 over, 13 over, 14 over, I think it takes your lowest score -2. So if you put in 12, 13, 14, you'd actually be given a 10 handicap. And then the more you put in, the more average that becomes. So you'd end up, if you put in 20 cards of similar brackets, you'd end up with the average. So something like a 13. So it incentivizes playing more golf, which is obviously a great thing. In our tournament, when you don't have a more fully fledged handicap, we'll do 25% reduction. So you'll play off 75% of your allowance. So somebody playing off 10 would come down to 7.5 or get 8 shots. What is important about that is the higher handicaps are penalised a bit more, which is again where you're going to likely find more bandits, because for a 28 handicapper to shoot 20 over is significantly easier than a 12 handicapper to shoot 4 over, right? So that's why the percentage is important. The bigger your handicap, the more you're reduced. There are not really any perfect sciences to that, other than the fact that we would take it very seriously. If people are seen to be manipulating the system, bearing in mind they have to declare their name and everything else, we can go and look into it. The other thing to point out is we've trialled this system. Last year with the 4 brothers, they ran the showdown. We had a very, very, very successful launch. Over 1,000 golfers took part in a really quickly put together event. The boys did an amazing job of that. And we've got to see how this will work. We tested the platform. We got to see what golfers liked, any concerns they had. And they didn't have an official handicap requirement in that tournament. You could put in any of those live scoring apps and self-declare a handicap, and it got messy. And there will always be people that will take the mick, but we will put a system in place that allows for people to have as accurate a handicap as possible, and the more accurate their handicap is, the more of it they'll play off. So all you got to do is play more golf. Everyone wants fairness. Sadly, just like someone can drop a ball out of their pocket in the woods, there is always going to be that area for cheating. But we will do everything we can, and that's the commitment we'll make to people, is that we've got a whole team in place to also, we can, as a organisation, if we think someone has had like 6 or 7 complaints from different teams, we can then make the decision to put in a manual cut to their handicap.
And I think the other thing to kind of deterrent bandits as well is like the final is going to be content.
Yeah.
Like we are going to be making content around the final, and you can't stand there off 24 handicap, stand up there, pipe a 300-yard drive and genuinely turn around and say you play off whatever 24.
Yeah.
Like it's just, it's going to be documented.
Yeah.
You are going to get called out. So if you even have an ounce of thought about how can I work the system, don't, because you will get found out.
Like the things can happen in golf. What we don't want to do is discourage people from a high handicap as like being proud of their best ever round. Like being honest, the first year I won the Trilby Tour, I got to the grand final, I played off 7 and I shot 2 over. Had probably the best round of my life, right? At the right time, under pressure, I was so proud of it. It was my official handicap from the Shire London. I was playing every single week, putting cards in all the time. My handicap was legit as it can be. Happened to have a great day.
Yeah, but
someone's going to have that,
right?
right?
5 shots better than your handicap.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not ridiculous. Like 41 points in Stableford.
Yeah.
You can deal with that.
Live with that,
it's when it gets to 47, 48 points, you're like, yeah, but that's 12 better than your handicap. You can't.
I think
really
you just got to let golfers know that we're very eyes open to what that is, and we're putting things in place to monitor it. It's quite obvious if someone's doing it regularly. It's quite obvious, and we'll reserve the right to step in and intervene, especially when there's going to be some of these big prizes on the line at the end. That you might do it a couple of times. You're not going to get away with it.
I think the good thing is it's good that you've covered this in such depth, and I think it actually sounds really quite, the way you've done it feels like the fairest and best way. I'd also be quite confident, maybe naively confident, I suppose, but in thinking that it's different when it's a 4-man scramble and you've got a mate from work who doesn't really play golf, so I'll put him off 32, he's not very good. But like the people that are entering this and that will enter this are knowing they're going to play with 2 essentially strangers who probably going to be a relatively similar demographic to them, like YouTube golf. You're not going to want you'd like to think that people will have more decency and actually be nice people. I think hopefully it's a problem that you have to think about beforehand. But hopefully, fingers crossed, touch wood, I don't think there'd be much of it, really.
I think it's also a great opportunity, genuinely, to go and explore new places and meet new people.
Absolutely.
Like, I used to love, as a junior golfer, going on matches and playing against other teams and meeting new people. I used to love
just like
all
think
that.
you and your mate, right, next Tuesday's the big game. Should we go to a practice round? Should we get ready? We've got your club set up. What should we do? All these things. Like, that's what I love competitive golf. And this for me is like the perfect blend of people that want to meet new people in their local area, playing for an opportunity to get something mega, but with that little bit of extra spice in it. You're just playing with your mates. Yeah, you all want to beat your mates at golf, but when there's something on the line against someone you're being friends with, but you don't know these people, you're there to win, right? There's something about that for me.
We put a post out, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago now, that was encouraging other content creators also to enter. And there's lots of perks for other content creators if they hit a certain threshold.
Yeah.
What was the reception about that like?
Amazing, like blown away by how many people want to be a part of it. Like we've got, there's a lot of golf content creators now, isn't there? Let's be honest. There's a huge amount, and the community is growing, and we want all of those creators to have a chance to play in the tournament, obviously. And that only increases the chance that said player will get a chance to play a creator in the draw. So it's looking really good on that front. There are some really big names that we're talking to. There's been some big conversations about people that might join for the future from other areas, shall we say, which is really exciting. So that's going to be an exciting one to keep an eye on. But this is what this is about. Look, we've all done these big collabs, right? You did that golf day years ago. We've done a million collabs since then. There's been invitational events like my invitational. You've gone and done the internet invitational. All these guys get together, content weeks here, your skins, all that stuff's amazing. But this is a little bit different where we're trying to create not just an excellent video, but trying to create an experience. Because look, we talked about it a bit off air, like how we talked about we're all doom scrolling and our kids are spending too much time on social media. Look, please keep watching the videos. We're not trying to stop you watching the videos, but we really think to lean into something real.
Something tangible.
Something, an experience. This is not, oh, did you see how great Rick's video was playing Sawgrass? It's like, did you see that guy got to play against Rick at the final? Like, he drafted Jimmy Bullard to make a putt for him, and then he won a holiday or a set of golf clubs or whatever it might be, right? Like, it's very exciting. It's very exciting.
I've had a lot of messages as well from footballers, celebrities, sports stars who want to be involved in this.
Yes.
So as much as I think there's going to be a lot of surprise matches
as well. I think
there's going to be a lot of matches where you
turn up and you're against.
You're getting drawn out and you're going,
oh my God, my guy Jarnik.
a different guy. Like, there'll be times where you get drawn against and you're like, is that the real such a body?
Yeah.
Because,
some big names.
Is that the real such a body who plays for Man United? Or is that like, there are genuinely people who have reached out to me who are big name stars who want to get involved in this, and that's what makes the whole thing even more exciting. Is that I think it's got a huge amount of potential. Again, the sign-ups have been unbelievable, but also I think there's a lot of people waiting for the official sign-up, which is when can people officially?
We're going to confirm a date very soon. It's going to hopefully be, well, by the time this comes out, hopefully we're talking early February. The one advice I can give people is that, especially those in different areas, don't mess about on it, because if we're only able to run 1 or 2 cohorts in an area, you don't want to miss that chance to have a slot. Also, we are working quite hard to incentivize home draws for people that sign up early and play their matches early. So, for example, you guys get drawn against X and Y in round 1, it's a home golf club for you. Let's say the first round opens on April the 15th. If you get that match done April 16th and you get it before whoever you would be paralleled against in your cohort in the knockout round robin, you'll be home again the next round. So we're trying to incentivize people to get on with it and play their matches. Because home advantage is big in this.
It's huge.
It's big. Like playing a course you're very familiar with, very used to, know where not to hit it, should we say.
You know what's quite weird though? You're looking at it, understandably so, from like quite a competitive standpoint. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people playing this will be competitive because that grand prize sounds amazing. But there'll be so many guys who go, oh, me and Rick were going playing our away match. Then they're dead excited to go play a new course they've never played at. So I suppose my point would be, it's actually a win-win either way. You either play at home, have your home advantage, and hopefully win the match, or you go and play away. Maybe you lose, but you go and play another golf course with a friend, and maybe make a bit deep. I know you might make 2 lifelong friends.
Well, last year in the Four Bros Showdown,
or romances.
You never know. I got that exact situation. In the first round, I was drawn against 2 guys from High Wycombe, which is a course I know. So I was like, okay, I know that course. That's not too bad. They messaged us. So the custom built app sorts everything out, is done instantly for you. Contact details of your opponents, geographically matches you up, make sure you're playing against people, all the rules, everything's in there. They messaged me in the app and said, look, well, Seb, really excited to play against you. We know you play Centurion. Can we come and play there? And I was like, sure. You want to come play Centurion? No problem. Careful what you wish for. Yeah, I lost that match.
But the thing is as well though, is like a lot of people that are playing this they'll obviously love to win it, but it might seem almost out of reach, which is not, because 2 people are ever going to win this whole thing, and that's amazing, get that amazing prize. But a lot of people will enter this just for a bit of a laugh, and I think more people that have that mentality, I think as a participant in it, yes, you might think, I'd love to win this and win however many matches it takes to get there, but just the experience and having a few games in the summer.
That's the goal, is to make the experience really cool. It's like, not just a great, I guess it's not a great word to use, but like, what is the proposition? Like, pay an entry fee, which is going to be somewhere around £75, get to join in this competition, and you could win a few matches with your mate, and you could qualify for one of these unbelievable golfing experiences, because that's where you've won. If you get to a regional final, or even the global final, you've won. Because what you're going to get in return for that is unbelievable. Forget the experience of the qualifying matches, that's going to be unbelievable, and then someone's going to win the whole thing, right? But that is what we want to try and do, is make it, right, if I watch YouTube golf, well, this is the tournament every year, this is the club champs. You know how when you're a member of a golf club, are you playing club champs next week? How'd you go in club champs? This is what we want that to be for you and your mates who talk about YouTube golf, who know what Luke Kwan sleeping in on the first tee means, who are all about that line, they know what break 75 is. If that is what they associate with, this is their tournament. So they should be looking forward to this every year now.
I would go as far to say, and not to play it down, and not to playing golf down. You touched on it before. For me personally, I might be in the small percentage. One of the most exciting things about golf, like a night out or almost like watching football is the build up to it.
Yeah,
like if you and your mate are playing on Saturday and it's now Tuesday and you text your mate, right, have you hit some balls? Like, yeah, I'm feeling good, mate. It's all that build up to getting going. And like, you know, if you win your first match and you threw that first one, I think that's
dreaming, don't you?
That's what it is. I think it's as much that as anything.
Who are we getting next? Who are we getting next?
Yeah, no, it sounds good.
So give me a quick run through for everyone listening,
Yeah.
right? So registration right now, official sign up is now open.
Yes.
We're hoping by this podcast goes out. The price is roughly £75 per person.
Yep.
So it's £150 a pair.
For the team, yep.
And then you're going to get a draw.
Yes.
That draw is going to be pretty soon.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we are looking to start the matches April through to end of September, October.
Oh, so there's a little bit of a runway there. February, March, so you can get your clubs out, get handicaps, get everything you need to be ready for when April kicks in. So April kicks in, and you talked about it being potentially 6 matches to get to a regional final.
No more than 6.
Time frame will that be carried out in?
So that's why we want to have as long as possible. We want people to have a chance to get ready to the weather to improve, certainly in the UK. And we want to give people enough time so they've got at least a month to play each round. Because, like, you know what it's like when you're busy and you've got work and family and weather to contend with. It's not as easy as that. So that's the other thing, is to make sure that you give people plenty of time to play their matches, which we think we can do. Also, have the ability to have a reserve we spoke about earlier, so you can swap in and out. And then give them all summer to play the matches. And then we're looking at some really great venues for the finals. Really great venues. And that needs to be somewhere a bit warmer, hopefully.
Wow. So let's say April round 1.
Yep.
May.
Yep.
June, July, August.
You got it.
So that'll be 6 rounds?
Yep.
April, May, June, July, August, September.
Yep.
Right.
Regional final.
So regional final will be September/October.
Yep.
National final November time.
October,
December.
November. Exactly right. Yeah.
What other? Again, these are all questions that have been posed to me even since we've announced it. You've paid your £75 per person to enter. What other potential costs could there be? If any?
The only thing could be green fees. So in some of these other events, especially now that we're looking to partner with England Golf on this, we might ask very politely if there are some courses that want to give courtesy for visitors. Certainly, you shouldn't be paying more than a visitor guest fee, for example. The other thing to mind is that if either teams are not a member of a golf club, then the home team will just elect which golf club is their host course, and they can't change that every week. So if you guys pick Marriott Worsley Park, that's then designated as your home venue throughout. So it'll be a green fee. Again, this is something we're not going to obligate, but if you're getting a visitor green fee, if you want to split that 4 ways, great. Home team don't have to. That's another benefit of playing at home. Another reason to get your matches done quick. You get a home draw as well. You might save on a green fee. But other than that, that's it. You know, all the prizes, travelling to other regional venues, accommodation, we're covering it.
For the regional finals, but obviously not between the knockout matches. Obviously,
I'm talking now for the global final is going to be a mega thing. You're our guest. You're flown out. Absolutely everything covered. Regional finals are going to be probably not a lot of travel or accommodation required, so that'll be a day's tournament in your local area. And anyone that needs to come further afield, then we will help them with that.
And I've paid my £75 per person. You're playing definitely one match in April.
Yes.
If you lose that match, you've got a second chance in the next month. Second chance. So effectively, everyone will get at least 2 matches. Everybody. So if you get knocked out, you'll go into the loser bracket, and then you'll start that process of matches again, and you'll go through, and then each cohort will have a winner and a loser. Each cohort will have a winner of the main bracket and then the loser bracket. So, but you get second bite of the cherry, effectively.
There has to be a little asterisk next to your name, though, if you come from the loser bracket.
Oh, man, massively. Scandal. You look down upon, yeah.
Scandal. Wow.
And do you know where is the final been announced yet, where it's going to be? It's going to be somewhere hot.
We're talking to some unbelievable venues. We're just now having final discussions about what that's going to be, but people are going to love it.
And this, if you manage to be lucky enough, or good enough, should I say, to get to the final, the experience that you will have will be that of essentially like a tour pro.
It will literally be like going to a tour event, but without the seriousness, but with all your favourite creators there.
Wow. Well, that'd be a cool story for someone.
Someone's going to get it.
It's all very, very good. So sign up. We have had, like I say, a ridiculous amount of registrations. It is now, we'll put a link in the top line of the description to get actual people to sign up. Hopefully you're not too late, even when this comes out. We'll pretty much try and announce this on the day that the ticket sales are actually officially announced. I'm excited. I've actually not picked my partner yet.
What are you going to play off? That's more important.
I'm
Have you not picked your partner yet?
Dick Heels, I play on 16.
Have you not picked a partner?
No, have you?
Me and Pete are playing.
Imagine. Well, things like that. I was talking to Jimmy about it. Like Tubes and Ange and Jimmy live in a similar area, so they're figuring out whether they're going to have one team or 2 or 3 teams, and they could get drawn against each other.
Imagine that. Imagine you versus
But
Pete.
you said 2 pros can't play together.
2 pros can't play on the same team.
That's me and Pete out.
Yeah.
And that's me and James Robinson out.
Yeah.
So they're my first 2
Imagine
picks.
someone that had quite a few shots as a handicap as
Yeah.
well. Rick.
That's the cool thing about this is like everyone gets to go and pick like who's their ultimate golfing partner for this adventure, right? You've got to marry up chemistry with compatibility.
I'm going to ask you
handicap
now
wise.
officially on the podcast. Would you like to be my partner?
Oh, you never asked.
Get down on one knee.
Got to wait.
It's huge. Breaking news. Breaking news.
Does that mean...
Shake hands again, look at that camera. Like,
Here we go.
Yeah, okay, I'll see you at the grand final.
Wow, I'll put you there already, yeah.
I just feel sorry for some poor sod who's paid 75 quid, come to the event. I'm going to wipe the floor with them first round.
should we do it? Should we do our matches at JCB?
Yeah.
Oh,
Wait them
big.
pay.
Imagine that. You go in your draw, you're playing against Rick and Guy at JCB. Decent.
Guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Sign up. It's going to be unbelievable. I'm really, really excited for it. Well done for all the hard work behind the
Yeah, it's
scenes,
been great.
because I know you've worked incredibly hard on this. Like I said, we chatted about this months and months and months ago,
Oh, yeah.
and for it to now come into fruition. And this is just year 1. It's going to get bigger and better every single iteration. So, guys, sign up, get involved. Seb, thanks for your time.
Thanks, boys.
And like Guy said, see you in the final.
See you in the final.
Well, legally, I've got to be there for
I'll
the
bring
final
my hat.
anyway.